So what we have here is Molekule Home 1, a brand new air purification technology. Essentially, what we've developed at Molekule is not just a way to filter the air, but actually destroy the harmful chemicals and pollutants that you breathe in the air.
Yeah, and how does it work? Can you show me how it works?
Yeah, so essentially what we have, the way the technology works is that we have a special nanofilter, and that nanofilter is coated in a catalyst. And when that catalyst sees light, it generates a catalytic reaction on the surface of the filter that allows for us to break down these microscopic pollutants. So I can actually show you inside of the device what that actually means. What you'll see inside of the device is a light. That's the light that actually excites our nanofilter. And then if you open up the device, you can actually see our nanofilter inside. So this is what our nanofilter looks like. But what you don't see with the naked eye is the catalyst particles that are actually embedded into the fibers of this filter. And that's what actually allows for us to do this process of completely destroying these microscopic pollutants. And what I mean by that, I'll give you an example. We actually did an experiment in our lab where we injected 3.9 million E. coli spores into our system, and we saw them destroyed in a single pass through our Pico technology.
And what's different about this filter? What sets it apart from the other filters?
So what you have today is you have a whole industry that's using basically a HEPA filter. And HEPA filters are essentially thick sheets of fabric that you're trying to pull air through. And your hope is that it'll capture these microscopic pollutants. While it does a good job of capturing large particles, what it can't do, and what's really dangerous, is the fact that if something like mold or bacteria gets caught on a HEPA filter, it can actually start growing on your HEPA filter and get re-released back into the air in higher concentrations. And then these extremely microscopic things like viruses and VOCs, which are airborne chemicals, those can completely escape the HEPA filter altogether. But because we're not just this passive filter, we're actively trying to destroy pollutants, we're able to address this entire range of indoor air pollutants, from the large particles all the way down to particles and pollutants in the nanometer range.
Mm-hmm. So you just you pop in the filter,
yes.
And then what happens?
So, so you put the filter in, so we'll just close this filter cabinet. And essentially the device basically goes into calibration. It assesses sort of the size of the room with a few inputs that I've already put into the device, and it determines what your cleaning cycle should look like. So how long it would take for your room to get to a cleanly state. So that's actually, now the device is running in auto. It's basically going to be cleaning the space around me until it reaches, again, that maintenance state where it's done a full air exchange of the air in your room.
And it's also really timely right now, especially with the California fires. It seems like this came right on the scene, right at this time where a lot of people are looking into air purifiers that will truly clean their home and keep them safe.
It was something that we as a company understood that current air purifiers couldn't deal with the full range of pollutants that were being emitted from all of the wildfires that we saw. So you'll see in that time period there's a lot of particulate pollution, but there's also these like extremely microscopic chemical pollutants that were being emitted that you couldn't even see. And so what our technology does is it actually breaks those pollutants down.
And we know that this can work for individuals and their homes. Can it also work for maybe like a hospital setting or a more commercial setting?
It has many applications. When you think about critical indoor air gaps, you're not just thinking about the home, but you're also thinking about the hospital that you're going to, the plane that you're traveling on, the car that you're sitting in traffic in. And so definitely, as we look at the growth of Molekule and this technology, we look to be addressing air quality in all of these different spaces.